am so excited about the show tonight. 196, and guess what? 100 and episode 134, 62 episodes ago, our guest was Rachelle Oyola, and back then we call it Rags to Riches Instagrammer. Well, 62 episodes later, she's back, and when you see how far she's come, I mean, she was on fire when we saw her 62 episodes ago, but wait till we catch up to her tonight. She is from Studio RK. Pamela's in the house, and any of your partners, Pamela, watching this because it's going to be huge. They're located in Fort Myers, Florida. Probably, I can count on one or two fingers the top Summit salons in our 4,000 Summit Salon community, and Studio RK is definitely the freaking bomb! And the Summit coach is, Michael Nicholas. He's been hanging out there for many, many moons. So let me tell you, wait till you see these stats, you guys. So when Rachelle was on 62 episodes ago, she was 35 then. Now she's 36. She was a level 4A then. Now she's a level 6, I think, cruising up to 7. Just, if you throw a rock hard, you'll hit it. Her average day then was 800. Look at average day now, 1320. Inside of a couple of years, average ticket then was 129. Average ticket now is 189. Because she's playing with some big time hand tied hair. She'll talk about that. Her average her haircut price then was 64. Now it's 76. And now she's tracking also her average her best day. Are you ready for this? Best day, biggest day she's had since we saw her is $2,400. She had a best month in December, $25,000. Can you believe it? She's 36 years old. And no, wait, there's more. She's still cruising, killing the referrals, killing the rebooks. But look at this. Her first year, really, we don't count first years as associates because they're really kind of interning. But her first full year at Studio RK was $60,000, first full year. In 18, it went up to $85,000. No, wait, it's more. Last year it goes to 108,000, and she's trending. Her goal is to hit 125,000 this year. Now, this is the chart from Summit. So Heather Bagley would say this girl is blowing the chart. So first year typically is 40. Her first year was 60. Second year is 60. Her second year is 85. Third year is 70. Her third year is 108. Fourth year is 80. If she does this year, what she's trending, 125,000. So right after this program, I got Guinness Book of World Records. She's going to go in the record books. I don't think, gang, that we've ever had somebody on a trajectory that sharp. That's why I think, she's just blowing it up big time. So, and she's going to talk what she's doing on Instagram. So whatever she was doing 62 episodes ago, on Instagram, she's gonna level that up. She's leveled it up quite a bit, and I'm not going to take the thunder out of her story. iPhone 11, she's hanging out at about 875 followers. Most of her guests are following now. Virtually the overwhelming majority of her referrals are coming in from social, and she's not here tonight to tell the story. I want you to go back and watch that episode. But in a nutshell, when 2 years ago, she was just moving quickly from a very challenging life. She's a single mom at then at 4 years old. Her children 4, very young. She's cash assistant, food stamps, walking through life, walking through adversity. And when she was here to tell the story, and then the big thing happened, she makes a decision to go to cosmetology school. She has a buddy working at Studio RK. She goes in, starts talking to the leadership team there. Pam's on tonight, and the rest is history. And all of a sudden, what it's like now. I mean, back 2 years ago, she was, like moving into financial independence, like at Mach 5. Wait till you see what she's been up to. With that, I think it's going to really give you some vision and inspiration. She, back then, providing for her children was a big deal, and not missing any occasions with her kids in school. She's going to catch us up to that tonight, and that back then she had some aspirations to get involved in leadership, etc. And then she's got a lot to say. So I'm going to go in the back. We're going to bring her out, and she's going to catch us up to her life, and then she's going to show us some really cool stuff that she's doing on Instagram. So keep your fingers crossed that the Wi-Fi gods are being nice to us tonight. There she is, you guys. Why don't you give it up for her, please? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, very well. Did you hear me bragging on you?
Yes, I did.
And I know you
Thanks for that.
You had a big full day, so I appreciate. And it's what is it, 9? It's about 10 after 9 in Florida time. So thanks, Rachelle. It's just I'm so excited about having you on tonight because you're doing so well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So
it's exciting.
Let's start with catching us up. The last time we chatted, you were moving from a lot of adversity into just a great life, and I'm real curious. What's your life like? Life like now that it wasn't before, and I know you got some really cool stuff going on in your personal life. So tell us a little bit about that.
So shortly after we talked the last time, I became an educator for the brand Kerastase. And that entails going to different salons and educating them on the product and different styling techniques and stuff like that. I also built a house, and we moved in September of last year, of 2019.
How old are your children? That was how old are your children now?
I'm sorry?
How old are your children now?
10 and 5.
And I watched you on your newsfeed. You took them somewhere last week, and it looked like it was a big deal.
Yeah, my oldest daughter had a gymnastics competition in Missouri, so we flew out there for her competition.
Oh my God! So you just fly out there on the weekend. Let's do and then come back in time to.
And then come back. Mm-hmm.
So you built a house since 62 episodes ago. Nice house.
Yeah, it's big enough for the 3 of us.
I love it. And then what else did you buy?
I bought a new car.
An
SUV.
An SUV, and what's the brand?
A Mercedes.
A Mercedes SUV. Rachelle, I drive a Toyota RAV4 tennis shoe, so you're smoking me.
Yeah.
Well, listen, that's got to feel so good, and that was my next lead question. I mean, when I look at your story, you have to do an autobiography someday of your life because
I've thought about writing a book. I've been through a lot in life, so maybe down the road.
And you're only you're only 30 something, so you've got you got a lot more shelf life in you. So you're a warrior, a great soul. So what? How has this changed? I shouldn't say how has this changed? How is this changing you? And your self-esteem and your optimism, your hope. One can only imagine how supercharged that is.
Yeah, it's a whole different feeling. I don't have to stress and worry as much about taking care of my kids. Weddings when they're older, college when they're older. That falls on me. So I feel like now I can do whatever I need to do with no issues.
And I was just in Studio RK, and you were with your family. I missed you, but we were having a conversation about financial planners and starting to stash and save long term. And so, are you doing any of that with all the new fuel in your life?
That's the goal for this year. After buying a house and all those other things, took care of business, and now it's time to rev that up and put more money away.
I love it. So where do you go from here? What do you see? I know that you're shooting to crack 125,000 on a W-2 this year. What else do you have cooking as you look out at 2020 and beyond that adds to your vision?
Well, one goal is I want to be level 7, which is the top level at our salon. And then hopefully that entails a question from Studio RK to be a shareholder. That's a goal in the future. I don't know, when that will happen, but that's a long-term goal because I haven't been there very long, but I'm working my way towards that.
Right. I think you're a poster child for being a candidate for that. So I just, I'm going to bid you Godspeed on that, and you've moved into education, so you're educating out into the world, and so you're kind of leveling yourself up as an educational leader as well.
Yeah, just pursuing more and more. Who knows what's out there? It could just keep going and going.
Well, I want to end this part of the interview by asking you the same question I did 62 episodes ago, and that is, but now you've got another chapter or two in your life that you didn't a couple of years ago. I mean, it's just your journey has been stunning. So you got a lot of people tonight watching, and there's going to be several thousand people that'll watch this recorded version over the next month or so. And I just know there's a number of people that will experience this interview. They are at where you were, 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they're looking at where you're at now, and it's right up there with unbelievable. But they may ask themselves this question: is it possible for me to be in a place that's even close to her, but it looks so overwhelming that they're not sure they want to try? What words of wisdom do you have for them to really take the shot?
So what I would say is you got to take it step by step, really. Summit, true believer in watching the numbers, knowing my numbers, knowing what I have to have every day, what I need every week, and just setting goals for myself, but not goals that are too big that I can't achieve them. And then slowly reaching each goal, which ends up getting you to the bigger picture. Just putting in the hard work, double booking. I'm now triple booking. It's just you just got to put the work in.
Yeah, and you part of it is you just been organically evolving there. And I was just in your world a couple of weeks ago, and every time I'm there, I see more and more evolution at Studio RK. And so you're like riding the crest of this tsunami of transformation. So keep on surfing.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few more minutes, and I want to get you talking about. You're doing some really interesting stuff with hand-tied hair. So that's like a new service that you've added. And when you and I were chatting before this interview, you said, Michael, frankly, that's nitroglycerin on my bonfire. And then you're doing some really cool stuff on your Instagram page. So I'd like you to talk a little bit about both of those.
Okay, so I'm assuming everyone has heard some bits of the hand-tied, I don't know if you want to call it a craze, but all these influencers and famous people are getting them and they're posting about them all over. So the opportunity arose to go and get certified in them. And I did, and that's kind of catapulted my sales and services to the next level and helped me get to a level 6. So what I like to do is do stories on those, but also doing highlights of what I feel my clients are asking for the most of, whether that's balayage. You can see here that's the hand tied and the process, so they can see what it entails to get those. Because a lot of people aren't familiar with how you get them, just what they are. They're just an extension. So this kind of shows each little step in how you would achieve those. But that has by far made my sales and services way higher than what they were before.
Yeah, and I'm loving this because you now in this highlight is almost a tutorial for a potential client to watch to kind of see the operating you're in the operating room doing the service, and then you're seeing the result of it. So it's got the best of all aspects to it. And you're saying
kind of a step by step.
Oh yeah, yeah, and you're saying, by and large, this pivot is really responsible for the quantum jumps in your income.
Oh yeah, I had my highest service sales in a day because of this, but also my highest month. 2 months in the last, I believe it was November and December were both over 20,000. It might have been October and December, but both were over 20,000 each month because of doing hand ties.
And when you do a service like this, the ones we're seeing on your highlights, 2 questions. What's the price of that ticket? Like when somebody has this work, where's that ticket price? And then how much time are you allocating to render that service from start to finish?
So, example, I did one today actually at work, and under, I think I was at a little under 2 hours to put in 3 rows of hand ties, and our pricing is based on rows and length of hair. So they start around 1100 for the 14-inch one row, and then they go up to, I believe it's as much as 2200, and that's going to be for the longest length. And I believe that's only at 2 rows. If you add a third, then the price goes up from there.
So you had, your guest today had 3 rows?
3 rows, yes.
And it took you booked
Less
out
than 2 hours.
okay, let's just say in or around 2 hours, but the ticket for that particular service today.
Hers would have been at 2100.
So 20. I mean, I'm doing the math, and yet that you're generating $1,000 an hour.
Yeah.
And now.
So even if you did one of those a week.
Oh, now correct me if I'm wrong, but you weren't doing. I don't recall you telling me this part when you were on with me 62 episodes ago.
No, I just started doing them in September, October is when I got certified.
Okay.
So this is recent.
So if I'm going to put for people to follow you on Instagram, and they can direct message you, and you can kind of tell them the path you took, because it sounds like it was that was like supercharged nitroglycerin.
Yeah, it was a game changer for sure.
Well, and I'm looking at, you've got highlights, but you're showing, it looks like you're featuring some of that in your grids as well.
Yeah, so I do post on my, my regular Instagram, but I also like to do a lot of stories, because I feel like the ones that are following me interact with me more with my stories than they do the actual posts on my page. So I'll get likes on there, but a lot of comments and messages are coming from stories directly versus just a picture that's posted.
Yeah, and when you and I were chatting, I think it was yesterday or the day before, you said that you now are using your stories, that whatever content you're posting in your caption, or you'll put a little, you'll use Instagram's kind of highlight their features where you can put graphics where you'll show your empty windows of time, your availability, and you're saying more of your guests notice that, and you're finding that more of your windows are filling because you're posting those availability alerts on your stories rather than your grid.
Yeah, so I feel like scrolling is out, and quick clicks on watching a video is what's in right now. So that's why I'm getting more interaction for doing the stories versus just posting a picture.
I love it. Yeah, it's stories, hand-tied hair, and you're posting your openings on your story, and you're saying that by and large has created that quantum leap in your in your numbers, in your metrics, and now it's more will be revealed. We're on the front end of 2020, so who knows where that's going to be taking you. How close are you to level 7?
I'm pretty close. I'm not really trying to jump right now.
Right.
But I only missed my numbers by a little bit last month. But if I really buckled down and was set on jumping, I'd probably jump in the next couple of months. But I was trying to ease it back. I just jumped to a 6.
Oh my God. Well, congratulations. Now, before I let you go, you need to promise me you'll come back for an encore, and we've never had we've never had an encore. There's
always a first.
Yeah, I can probably count on 5 fingers the number of encores we've done, but we've never had an encore. And because you're blowing the charts, I follow you now. We're on each other's feed, and I'm working closer with Studio RK this year. So promise me you'll come back so that we can catch up to chapter 3.
Okay.
Right? All right.
Yeah, hopefully there's even bigger things to tell you next time.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps just as I'm waiting for it. So thanks a lot. Tell all my homies at Studio RK I love them. I'll be chatting with you soon and them soon, and I'm gonna let you go wrap the show. And I've got some other things I need to take care of.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give it up for Rachelle one more time, you guys, will ya? All right, nice. I think you got to give it up one more time, you guys. Like I said before, we have a, and don't leave, because I've got another message for you. I want to summarize this particular message. But there was several people that came on a little bit later, and I want you to just see her stats. So this is her first year was in 2017, second year 18, third year 19. She's really in her fourth full year. Her first full year is 60,000. Second full year is 85,000. This is W2 including gratuity. Third year 108. She's trending 125. Gang, this is, for those of you that come to my Anatomy of Awesomes, this is where I show first year 42nd, 63rd, 74th, 80, and 5th 100. She's blowing this chart to kingdom come. And I continue to say that when I'm in the world. What was wonderful about having Rachelle on tonight is you could actually see I'm not making this up. So that she's an innovator, and as the innovators discover new services, new ways of branding those services on social media, you can see that they continue to level up the numbers. They continue to not just blow the charts, but they're creating the soon-to-be new normal. So what an evening this was.